Justin Trudeau and his cabinet ministers are in Vancouver, BC from September 6th to 8th to discuss affordability for the average Canadian. So we came to Surrey, BC to ask the locals what they think about that.
Parliament is set to resume in a few weeks, and today Prime Minister Trudeau and his Liberal cabinet are meeting on the West Coast to lay out their legislating agenda and solidify strategy heading into the new session.
In a press release on August 31st, the Prime Minister's office announced that the Prime Minister would hold a cabinet retreat in Vancouver from September 6th to September 8th in 2022. Quote, the cabinet will drive progress on our continued efforts to make life more affordable for Canadians and delivering economic growth that benefits everyone.
Debt's on the rise in Canada as more people are turning to their credit cards to help ease the pressure of inflation.
During a time of rising interest rates and crippling inflation, no one seems to be feeling it more than the average Canadian.
Regardless of what that figure is exactly, future governments are going to have to carry that debt. The servicing costs on that are going to be very high.
Sorry?
The servicing costs on the debt that you're going to have to carry, that you're adding to now, right?
Interest rates are at historic lows, Glenn.
Okay, but it's still a lot of money.
No.
It's still a lot of money.
No.
And you don't know where. Okay, but how are you going to pay for that?
The Bank of Canada has made another hike to its key interest rate today, raising the cost of lending by 75 basis points to 3.25%. And this marks the fifth time that the bank has raised the cost of borrowing so far this year.
Canadian household debt to GDP is one of the highest among Western nations, coming in at about 108%. Canadians are officially some of the most over-levered people in the world.
If I were still a reporter, the headline of my story would be, Canadians are working hard. Canadians have real confidence in the long term for our country, real optimism in our country's long term. Canadians really understand that we have a lot of jobs in the country right now. And Canadians also understand the challenges with the cost of living.
The Trudeau government and his cabinet ministers, they're in Vancouver right now for a 3-day retreat to discuss how to make life more affordable for the average Canadian. Yeah. What are some things you'd like to see the federal government do to make your life a little bit more affordable?
I don't know what. The first thing that comes in mind living in Vancouver is housing.
Just more places to rent, cheaper price. Housing is out of this world, so the prices need to come down, make it more fair for the average person.
We know that there are no simple answers in the housing issue. There is just significant numbers of different angles and programs that we need to put forward, that we need to get right.
I want that rent should be reduced of the basement and the houses.
Make life easier and drop the charges of the rent.
What are some things you'd like to see the Liberal government do to make life more affordable for you?
Personally, I'd just like to see them resign. That's about all, but thank you.
As we see inflation rise, as we see people looking at the increased value of their own homes, we need to at the same time make sure that young families, that first-time home buyers have access to the housing market. That's why addressing supply is so unbelievably important. Our population is growing faster than the supply of housing.
Well, I'm new to Canada, so there's a lot that I don't know. But for me, since I've been here, one thing I realized that for housing, for a fact, it's really, really hard, especially based on the mere fact that it looks like about 70% of the country folk is working on minimum wage. Right. Which minimum wage, I don't know how you can own a house with minimum wage. It's going to be very hard. Like, that's probably saving for 10 years to make the down payment. By then, the down payment is tripled. So you have to wait another 10 years and it keeps going up. So I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I believe housing should be one of the very first things. We have way too many homeless people. Way too many homeless.
Where are you from? You're from the Caribbean. Whereabouts?
I'm actually from Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. So what was your biggest shock coming to Vancouver specifically about affordability?
All right. So my whole perspective on Canada being a first world country, I never knew the whole homeless thing. I thought my country as a third world country would probably have a whole lot of homeless people. But here I see way more homeless people than even in my country. It's a third world country, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Stop carbon tax, stop being a part of the World Economic Forum, stop trying to be a communist. I don't know. stop putting disability people under so much pressure that we can't afford to feed ourselves anymore or keep ourselves housed. And now I have to be here, and you know what I mean? I don't want to be. Where's my subsidies to help me with rent when I'm not living in subsidized rent like through BC Housing? Where am I going to get help when I can't work because I need back surgery? I have 6 degenerated discs. I have lupus. My medications aren't even covered. My last medication just got denied that my neurologist just tried to put me on because only 3 medications are covered under BC for pain. And if you're allergic, like I have a heart condition, I can't take one of them. I'm allergic to opiates. So where am I supposed to go?
Probably lower some taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the carbon tax?
Yeah, like that.
The price on pollution actually gives back more money to people in the provinces where it's imposed than it takes away. An average family does better with this price on pollution in places like Ontario, Saskatchewan, Alberta, because of the price on pollution.
Okay, yeah.
Getting their taxed out of us.
That's true, yeah.
I work 6 days a week and I'm still just barely making it.
And I mean, that's a common story we've heard. Rents are too expensive, gas too expensive, groceries,
right?
inflation.
Yeah.
So,
my wages aren't going up in accordance with the cost of living.
Right.
They're just not.
And they've been lagging for a long time.
And I've been a tradesman for years and years, right? You know, like it's like if you don't work a regular job and have some kind of a side hustle somewhere along the line, you can't make your rent.
Right.
That's just, it seems to be the way it is. Unless you wear a suit and tie and work for the right guy saying the right things.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
All right, thank you.
Lower gas prices.
Lower gas prices. All right. Do you think producing domestic natural resources would help that?
I would think so, yes.
Global inflammation, which was caused by the pandemic and then made worse by the illegal invasion of Ukraine by Russia. These events are having real impacts on Canadian families, and we see this in gas and food prices.
I think, addressing kind of what's going on with inflation and stuff, especially like moving out here. I just moved out here from Alberta. It's been crazy out here. I didn't realize how much the cost of living has really shot up, especially as a young individual who's just sort of joining the workforce and moving out on their own. It's definitely it's crazy. It's crazy times with inflation and just the cost of rent, the cost of gas, those sorts of things. It's been nuts.
Hey, is there something that you guys would like to see Justin Trudeau and the Liberals do to make your life more affordable?
Affordable housing.
Yeah.
Structurized rental housing.
Yep, 100%.
Pursuing the universal dental plan. It's good that Canada has the universal health care. While there will still be room for improvements on the universal health care, I think the universal dental care would go a long way. And I'm not too sure about the specifics, but the universal health care for our senior citizens, I think that's one thing that would really help me personally and help society in general, in my opinion.
Do you have family members here that you care for that would directly benefit?
Yeah, both my folks are like senior citizens right now.
Yeah.
So I think they would like really benefit from that. Universal pharmacare, I think that's another field.
Can you please explain to us, our viewers, what your sign says there?
Oh, so please help. I make $13.58 on provincial disability. My rent is now $900. My internet is $62 a month. I'm in a contract. I can't get out, or I'm going to end up paying more money than, to try to get out. I need a phone for my doctors and everything else, which is $40, or just keeping in touch with Rebel News. And then I have medications that I'm on by my rheumatologist for my lupus. I can't get them covered. Right now, when I put the sun together, it was $30. It's gone up to $40 a month now that those meds are not covered. This is all pre-planned. They want us. You're going to eat bugs and like it. You're going to be homeless and like it. These are what they're putting us under. And unfortunately, the most poor of our society, which you're already seeing from the homelessness in Canada, rising and rising and rising. This is all a part of the greater plan. You'll own nothing and like it. I already own nothing and I don't like it. And I'm not eating bugs.
Thank God.
I'm a vegetarian, so that helps too. But bugs are definitely, even if I wasn't, is not on my menu of choice of, you know what I mean?
Of course, yes.
No, It's the elite that are paying and we already know governments should be wearing, like they do for NASCAR, who they are being supported by, because then you know who you're really voting for.
So talking to a bunch of different people today in Surrey, BC, at Central City, just in front of SFU, Simon Fraser University, it seems to me the overwhelming issue, which is no secret if you've ever spent a minute in Vancouver, is housing affordability. People spend almost all of their money on rent and they're falling behind. So what do you think the Liberals could do to make life a little bit more affordable for you? Let us know in the comments. Matt Brevner for Rebel News.
Well, the remains of 215 children have been found in a mass grave in Canada.
Do you want to get closer to the truth about what was actually buried at Kamloops Indian Residential School last year? So do I. That's why the Rebels are doing a live screening in Calgary at Canyon Meadows Cinemas, and we want you to join us. We'll be there to watch this documentary with you, meet and greet you, and answer any questions that you have. I can't wait to see you. There's more info below.